I'm 3 years deep into Twitch and YouTube, and I still cannot intro for shit. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. And this is going to be a little different than what we usually do because Gaming and Waffles is now finished. It's out of here, okay? I'll just explain that real quick for everybody who were fans of the Gaming and Waffles. It was an amazing time. But here's the thing about Gaming and Waffles. This is going to be our own new thing, right? This is going to be the Anthony Streamzz Show. This is what we're going to be calling this. But Gaming and Waffles, you kind of need either a panel of people or a guest every week, which is really hard to get. It's very hard to get people up here to eat waffles with you, to discuss games. We have a little mini quiz at the end, and you have to cut off so much if you can't get a guest every single week. So I figured let's just go a different route where we could do something that doesn't depend so much on other people being here. We could just give you my thoughts and the people's thoughts of who watched this. And just do our own thing, right? So Gaming and Waffles was an amazing time. If we ever get to where we can have a full panel, we may bring it back because I think that'd be really good. But just as of right now, it's almost impossible to get a whole group up here or even one person up here every single week to record something. And the way that Gaming and Waffles is designed, which I stand by, is a really cool idea, right? To just have a person or a group of people to just discuss all these different things, eat waffles, have a good laugh, talk about what we've been playing, do the quiz at the end, right? I feel like that setup is more for multi people on a podcast. So yeah, we're going to be going a different route here with the Anthony Streamzz Show, right? Where it's going to just be about me and you guys, the viewers, the supporters. This is going to be our time. We'll still have guests. We can have guests on every once in a while, where we can get people to share their opinions with us. And I'm excited about this journey. I think it's going to be a good time. But that is just pretty much sums it up of why we're not going to be doing Gaming and Waffles for now, right? We're like Vince McMahon here. Never say never, all right? When Vince McMahon cuts a wrestler, no matter how bad it ended, which a lot of those relationships in WWE ended really bad. But you never say never, right? Because Vince would always just bring whoever back. You were always welcome back, no matter what crazy thing you did to get fired. You were always welcome back. So we're going to keep a Vince McMahon mentality here. And we're just going to say that Gaming and Waffles isn't dead. It's just taking a nap, right? It's just taking a nap. But we do have a lot of exciting things. It's New Year. I know I'm trying to get used to saying New Year because I go through Twitter and everybody's like, oh, I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's not an S on the end of New Year. All right. How about lighten up a little bit and just let people say whatever the fuck they want to say. But to be politically correct, I guess it is New Year. So happy New Year to everybody. I'm recording this and dropping it the same day. So happy New Year to everybody out there. We're going to get into a lot of things today. We're going to be talking about what I've been playing. We're going to be talking about some Guardians of the Galaxy because I've been playing that. Talk a little bit about Ghost of Tsushima and Breath of the Wild. It's my very first time playing Breath of the Wild. And we're going to be talking about our favorite games that we played this year based on the analytics, right? Our wrap-ups. I got my PlayStation wrap-up, my Steam wrap-up. We got the community involved. They gave me their most played games of the year. And that'll be a podcast. I'm not going to run extremely long today because it's New Year. I'm very sick, so I don't know what my voice sounds like on here. I hope that I'm coming off okay. I'm recording this very sick. I just took some medicine and a cough drop to help me get through this recording, and I would like to be done before I have another episode of coughs, and I'm not coughing all on the microphone for y'all. So with that being said, how about we just jump right into it and we can talk about what I've been playing. So I'm still playing Guardians of the Galaxy. We talked a little bit about it, and my opinions haven't changed much from the last time we spoke on it. But let me just say this. The dialogue in the back is becoming a real problem for me. And it sucks because I'm really enjoying the game, right? I think overall the game is really good. I'm having a great time with Guardians of the Galaxy. The dialogue, which I never checked the settings to see if that's something I can turn down, like in the accessibility. Like if I can turn down the dialogue in the back. Maybe I should check that. But it's become so absurd. I just... Okay, so like let me give you an example, right? We got to a mission where Rocket didn't like our... I won't say any spoilers. No spoilers here. But we got to a mission where you had to choose what you wanted to do. I don't even know if it makes a difference. Sometimes I feel like no matter what you pick, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, anybody who's played the game, I feel like no matter what you pick, the outcome's not going to change. It just changes who's upset with you, is how I think this goes. I really, man, honestly, to be honest with you, because of the way the story goes, I feel like it doesn't change much. But I could be completely wrong in that. Either way, Rocket's mad because of something I chose to do. And he, so he spends the entire mission just bitching and complaining the entire time in the background. That's all you hear is him bitching and arguing with everybody, throwing little shots at Star-Lord about his ex-girlfriend. It's nonstop, right? And you finally get to the ship. So he does like the most immature shit you could do. He takes Groot, locks himself into a room, and the whole time you're on the ship, he's just going off in that room. So you try to go to the door, they open it, and he gets to trash talking you and then slams the door in your face and locks it back. Like just immature levels, right? Which story-wise isn't bad, but the dialogue never stops of him constantly bitching in the background while you're trying to talk to other people on the ship. When we get off the ship, he takes off with Groot. You don't know where they go. Like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into the story part of it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So you're walking with the other group, which is Drax and Gamora. Is that, yeah, just them two. So Drax takes off because he has something important he has to go take care of. Gamora just disappears. She doesn't even tell you. Like, she's just gone. You turn around and she's just gone. So you're just like, okay. For the first time in this game, it's peace and quiet. And oh my God, did I love it. I loved it so much. There was a lot of cool things you could do. I was walking around. They have like little games you could play. You could play the lottery, all these different things. They have a cool museum you can go to, which if you're a Marvel fan, me not being a Marvel fan, it wasn't that interesting to me. But they have like this museum where they have different swords and helmets and all that shit of different Marvel characters that you can look at. And if you're just a big Marvel head, you can look at it. And you'd probably be like, oh, this is so-and-so. Oh, this is so cool. But, you know, it was a good time. Then I start walking to some of the bars and I'm guessing like clubs that they have there. And the dialogue picks up. But they have different people you can talk to. It has like a little chat box above their head letting you know you can talk to them. And I'm trying to talk, but there's so much conversation going on in the background, like of people trying to talk to me, I'm assuming. And I'm pressing triangle on my PlayStation controller to initiate the dialogue with the bartender and the other people because I want to hear what they have to say. And I'm pressing triangle and there's no dialogue going on because I have to wait for the people in the background to shut the fuck up. Right? And I'm just like, it just got it got to be so much that I honestly quit doing it. And I hate that because I'm such a big fan of like doing everything in a game or as much as possible. I'm not going to say that I'm like the platinum trophy king or anything like that, but just talking to all the different people that you could talk to and just getting little mini stories and things like that, I think is always a good time in games. But I get to I get to one character and I'm just trying to start the dialogue and it won't let me start it because people are still talking to me in the back about nothing important. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and wait for this. So the dialogue part of Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a mess, y'all. It's driving me nuts. And maybe I should check the settings because I really haven't to see if you can turn down the dialogue in the background. It's way too much. At least give me the option to talk to the people that you could talk to and it shut the people up in the background, right? But it wasn't working that way for me. But for that to be one of my only complaints about the game, I heard people complain about the battle, like the fighting in it, and I honestly am having a good time controlling all the different people. I like to so I have like this ice weapon on my gun, so I'm like freezing the enemies, and then I would send Gamora to slice them. Like I don't know why. Look, I'm the king of playing a game on normal mode, right? As soon as I get on the game, I go straight to normal mode. I don't like baby mode, and I don't like hardcore mode. And I don't say baby mode as as a shot to anybody who plays that, because I've played games on baby mode before. So that's definitely not a shot at anybody. But I'm like, I go straight to normal every single time. I want to enjoy the game and I want it to be a little difficult. I don't want to be playing a game that's like I'm not having fun with because it's like fucking difficult to get through. So I'm like, I love normal mode. I'm a sucker for that. Maybe on hard, the battling may be like just stupid as hell. I don't know. I can't relate to whatever people are complaining about the fighting in that game. I'm having a hell of a fun time doing it. Just like I said, just freezing people, or there'll be like a group of people and I try to like reel them in together, and then I have Rocket throw a bomb over there and just blow up everybody at one time, and then send Gamora at somebody. Like I don't know. I think the combat system in that is a lot of fun. But I know there's been a lot of complaints, so maybe I'm alone there. But I'm having fun with the battling in that game. There's a lot of other good things too. I like the characters overall. I don't like Drax, and I never liked Drax. I don't like him in the movie. I don't like him in the games. He's just so fucking annoying to me. Like, do y'all like Drax? I can't stand Drax, and I know like he's like a people's favorite. And I don't understand it. He is so fucking annoying. He takes everything like so literal. I don't know if I'm using the right term. I know there's a better word to use, but oh my god, I hate Drax so much. I liked Rocket, but I like Rocket overall. He's cool. What I won't do is not like Rocket because of the dialogue in this game. Rocket is really cool. I like Rocket. He's acting like a little bitch in the part we're at right now, but overall I do like Rocket. Gamora is my favorite. Gamora and Star-Lord are really cool. I like both of them. Star-Lord is such like he's so fucking ridiculous, right? But I have a good time playing with them. The designs look cool. I love that you can get the different costumes. I think that I missed some costumes on some other planets is what I'm thinking. But I'm like, damn, I've been searching like every area of these maps trying to make sure that I get everything, trying to find every little secret hidden spot. But so the way that I've got these costumes is like, even with Groot, I have a lot. I think I have 3 or 4 costumes with Groot. But there's like 1 and 2, like they'll have the 4 boxes or however many boxes there are for the costumes that you can get. And I had the first one, the second one, and the third one. Or the first and the second one. And then there's an empty box. And then I got 3 and 4. So I don't know if they go in order in a way. But that empty one makes me wonder, did I miss one on a different area? Or are these all just kind of just random? I don't know. But I don't have as many costumes as I feel like I should have. because like even with Rocket, I think I only have 2. And I don't know. I wish there was a way for me to know whether I missed somewhere. But I don't know. Maybe after I finish the game, I don't see myself playing it again just because the amount of games that I have to get done. Because look, for 2022, there's a lot of games I haven't played that came out. So I got to rush through those games in 2023 and get on top of the games that are coming out in 2023. So I'm not going to have time to run through Guardians of the Galaxy again. So probably what I'll end up doing is just going online and looking at all the costumes that you can get in the game after I beat the game and just see what all costumes were out there. And I'll just have to take it as, okay, these were the costumes that I missed, if I did miss any, and just kind of call it there. But yeah, I'm having a good time with Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't want to, like I said, the game is still fairly new, so I don't want to say too much to spoil the game for anybody, just overall. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I enjoy it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really important that I need to get off my chest about Guardians of the Galaxy, because I know that I complain a lot about the dialogue, but the dialogue it's very bad for me. It's very, very bad. To the point where you can't talk to other people until everybody's done talking in the back and they're never done talking. It's a bit too much. But I know I complain about that so much that it seems like that I dislike the game. But I actually really like it. I think I fought 2 was it 2 boss fights or 1? I forget how many boss fights I did, but they were really good. And when the humor is good in it too, right? Even in the dialogue where they're talking so much, the humor is good. Like I sit back and I laugh a little bit to these things, you know? Like I have a good time with Guardians of the Galaxy. Is a funny movie, right? And so the games, they're pretty funny too. The characters are right in line with the people in the movie. So if you enjoyed the movie, I think you're gonna love the conversations in the game. It's just too much, right? Like we all love talking to our best friend, but nobody wants to talk to them for 24 hours in a day, you know? So it's a good time. And I enjoy the game way more than I dislike it. It's just the dialogue situation is very strong with me, right? Somebody else may play this game and not have an issue with it at all. You know what I mean? Like you may not have no problems with it. But one of the bigger problems is just that you're trying to focus on what's going on. So you're trying to block out whatever they're saying in the back that you think isn't important. And then out of nowhere, there's like an option menu that pops up where you got to choose whose side you want to take. And you don't even know what the argument was about because you're trying to focus on what's happening in the game right now. You know, like your main quests or trying to find your side stuff that you want to do. And they talk so much about things that aren't very important to the game that you feel like you can kind of just ignore because they've been talking so much. You're just like, okay, they're just going to talk. Just let them talk. And I'm going to focus on what I need to focus on. And then you look down and you have like, whose side are you going to take in this? And you're just like, I don't know what y'all are even fucking arguing about. So the dialogue's a lot, but like I said, I enjoy the game way more than I dislike it for sure. What else have I been playing? I played Ghost of Tsushima. I don't want to say a whole lot. It's fairly new too. There may be some people who haven't got to it, so I don't want to spoil too much in that. And actually, I don't have much to spoil because I didn't get very far. I'll say that I like the. So this is funny, but I like that the wind tells you which direction to go to. Literally, I know if you've never played that game, that might sound a little confusing to you, but the wind, wind will blow and it'll tell you what direction you need to be going in. My friend quit playing the game because he got tired of trying to figure out what the wind was trying to tell him to do. And it's such a thing my friend would do because the wind isn't that difficult to keep up with. I was like, I'm surprised, but he's very short patience and I could see where he would fall off of that. But I'm having a good time with it. The game looks beautiful. The combat is fun. I'm still in a spot where I guess I'm trying to go into areas I'm not ready to be in, and I'm just getting my ass handed to me. and I just keep going back and going back and going back and going back to that area. But I'm having fun with it. I can't say a whole lot because like I said, I haven't got very far at all into that game. I may be like 2 hours into the game. I haven't got very far at all. But yeah, I like it. It's a good time. The game is so beautiful. All the cutscenes, it just feels like you're watching a movie. It's so good. They did an amazing job over there with that game. One game that I can talk a little more about is The Legend of Zelda. Right? I'm playing Breath of the Wild. And it's a beautiful game too. I love the area. Different areas you can go to. And here's where I'm really enjoying the game, right? I'm glad that I played Elden Ring first. Even though that wasn't the plan. I never had a Nintendo until this Christmas. I got a Switch. I got a Switch and the Zelda game. So I never could play Zelda because I never had a Switch. Well, it worked out good for me because since I played Elden Ring, I was able to take the way that I played Elden Ring and play Zelda that way. So I'm kind of like, okay, I know they have a main quest, but Zelda has like these little dungeons and things you can go do, which is very similar to Elden Ring, right? Which I learned in Elden Ring. Do your dungeons, level up, explore, like treat it that way. Explore, do your dungeons, look for enemies, fight enemies, look for new weapons, look for stronger bows and stronger weapons, right? Do all that. And I've been just playing the game that way. So I'm not very far at all into the story. I actually just got the glider that you can jump off of things and use your glider. So I got into the next area of the map. And once I got there, there's somebody I'm supposed to go speak to. I believe a woman. I may be wrong in that, but I think they said there's a woman I'm supposed to go talk to. And I haven't even gone there yet. I'm just going and just knocking out dungeons. And I heard this game was hard. So here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to shit on the difficulty because it may get very difficult. But I've been cleaning through these dungeons. And I was just kind of like, this game doesn't feel as hard as what I've heard that it was. The dungeons, every once in a while I'll run into one where I'm just like, okay, what am I doing here? I'm a little confused. But then it'll hit me. I'm just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, right? It hasn't felt like I've ran into anything that's been a real problem for me, difficulty-wise. Like I said, I could be speaking way too soon. This thing could turn up a whole nother notch in a minute. But as of right now, I haven't found anything that's difficult. But it's been pretty cool. I enjoy finding the swords. I love that you can pick up like a stick and fight enemies with like a stick, literally like a branch stick, and that like before you get to any swords or anything, that's kind of like what you're fighting with, or like a big club that you can get by taking out some of the enemies in that first area. They come with like a club. Once you get into that second area, the swords appear way more, so it's kind of less of the branches and stuff. Like I found a hammer, I found a claymore, a traveler's claymore, a rusty claymore, like all these different weapons. But it's kind of funny. The first area is really funny because you can beat like these skeletons and you can keep their arm as like a weapon and you can just fight other enemies with the skeleton arm. But the weapons in this game, they wear out after you use them so many times. They wear out, and you constantly have to be finding other weapons because you don't get to keep that weapon. It doesn't feel like for very long either. They feel like they wear out pretty quick. But you could throw your weapons at them. I've unlocked like having bombs, so I've been throwing bombs at enemies, which surprisingly isn't very strong. In the area that I'm at, I've been throwing bombs at them, and you have better luck with your sword because, yeah, the bombs aren't really getting it done. I need to do a better job at finding arrows. So I've had frozen arrows, which work great because it's the same thing that I was doing in Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Freeze them, and then you just run up and just, if they're not dead, a lot of times they just die from the frozen arrow. They'll freeze up and then just die. But every once in a while, one will still be alive. So while they're frozen, you just run up and just slice them. They're going to be dead. But I haven't ran into a lot of those ice arrows. So when I do, I need to do a better job at like saving them for something more serious. So I I run into these like areas where there are a lot of enemies and I'm not near equipped for it, which is why this part has been hard because I'm just boneheaded like that. I'll run into these areas. I'm like, okay, I don't have enough things to kill multiple amounts of people here. I don't have any bows at all. I have one frozen. I have bows. I don't have any arrows. I have one frozen arrow, right? And I'll use it to get one. And then I still have 5 other people, and they're throwing rocks at me. One will put his staff in the fire, and when he does, he'll attack you. And it almost kills you on a one hit. So I just keep getting my ass handed to me in that area. But yeah, that's just me being boneheaded and not going and fighting everything. I'm just like, oh, I'm already here. I don't want to come back. I want it now. But that's not working out for me because I'm not equipped for that area. Why my brother's calling me here while I'm doing a podcast. Let me let him know that I'm recording, right? I won't take it out, right? Because we're gonna be real on this podcast. Y'all get the real deal, even though you don't know. Like, you're not gonna know why he called, I guess, but whatever. So yeah, I'm having a good time with Legend of Zelda. It's a fun game, and it's so beautiful. That's what I love about the games I've been playing. Between Guardians of the Galaxy, Ghost of Tsushima, and Legend of Zelda, they're just beautiful games. Just really beautiful. And on a side note, over on Twitch, I've been playing Death Stranding. Another very beautiful game, right? I don't have a lot to say about Death Stranding because we are 4 hours in. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I have ideas and like guesses and things like that, but I feel like I'm way off on whatever I think is happening. It's like a walking simulator, right? I don't know what to think about the game. It seems interesting. So somebody in my chat said that I asked them what they thought about the game, and somebody said it's interesting. And I do think that's the best way to describe that game right now, because I don't know that I like it, because all I have done was walk from one place to another, delivering things like my dead mother. We did that. We walked our dead mother to an area to bury her underground or some shit, whatever we did to her. It's kind of fucked up. But that's all we're doing, right? It's just carrying things like, yo, we need you to take these drugs to this area. And we walk over there, and then you get like non-stop cutscenes. It's a whole lot of cutscenes. And as far as like the actual gameplay goes, it's a lot of walking. I wouldn't even say a lot of walking. I mean, it's kind of just walk to this area, and you're gonna get a whole bunch more cutscenes. I'm not against it. I'm not, right? I don't have any negative feelings or like positive. It's just interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes. I don't know what to think about the game. I didn't know when I went into this, right? I never looked at any gameplay. I never looked at anything involving this game. But it's a game that I hear so many people talk about, that they swear by this game, and it was such a great game. So we did a mystery game on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Anthony Streamzz, for anybody who wants to check that out. We did a mystery game, and that was the mystery game. So we went into this blind together because I don't know anybody in the chat that have actually played it. Cutscenes are really nice. Another beautiful game, really beautiful game. The concept seems really cool. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not going to knock the game for that because I'm sure it's going to explain it over time. You know, like they're not going to give you what the game is in 4 hours. I assumed when we were playing the game and we found out that there's all these like, I don't know if they're like demons or ghosts or whatever they are. I thought maybe there was going to be combat when we seen those. As of right now, 4 hours in, and there's no combat at all, I don't think there's going to be combat in this game. I don't know if you'll ever hold a gun. I could be completely wrong in this. Like I like 1,000%. Like I said, I know nothing. So like I'm just guessing here. Like I know nothing. But I'm assuming there's not going to be any guns or any combat. I'm assuming this is just going to be like a walking simulator, avoiding these things for the gameplay, and the story part will unfold. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I would like to play the game, but it feels more like you're watching a movie, and then there's parts that you go do. But it feels more like a movie than a game. So far, 4 hours in. Like I said, I don't know what happens later. We're just 4 hours in, and we've done like maybe 3 missions because we transported the drugs in the very beginning. I remember that we walked the dead mom somewhere, which was a mission. Did we only do 2 in a 4 hour span? There may be another. There may be like another 1 or 2 in there that I'm not remembering because I have terrible memory. But, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. That's really all I can say so far. I really am interested, like, to see where this goes. But I can't say that it's a great game yet or that I hate it because I don't hate it at all. It's very different from anything I've ever played, so I'm intrigued and interested to see where this goes. We'll figure all that out. Okay, so how about we jump over? Let me get a drink of water, guys. I appreciate if you've hung in this long into the podcast. I appreciate you. I'm going through it. I am so sick right now. Let me down some water real quick. I'm trying to hold in coughs. It's a rough time here. Let's jump. Sorry about that if that was loud on your end. Sorry about that. I'm getting an important message here. What we're gonna do is jump right into my most played games this year, my gaming wrap ups. Okay, before we get into my wrap up, let's go through. So I asked people on Twitter and the Discord what their most played games of the year are, and we're gonna go through them here. My guy Panda has been playing Minecraft and Binding of Isaac, which those have probably been his most played game for like the last 2 to 3 years. Tabby has been playing Elden Ring, which, I mean, come on. Isn't that all of our most played game? Elden Ring is so amazing. The greatest game I have ever played, by far. Mickey has been playing WWE 2K22. I love WWE 2K22. They did an amazing job this year coming back from 2K20, which was god-awful. 2K22 was a lot of fun. Chibi has been playing Rogue Company and the Tomb Raider games. So that trilogy of Tomb Raider games, which, alright, so here's the funny thing. When I played that Tomb Raider, I didn't know it was a trilogy, and I played the last one without ever playing the first or the second one. And I just played the third. Didn't know it was a trilogy at all. But yeah, that's how it went for me. I didn't know until somebody told me, like, yo, that's a trilogy. Like, somebody that played all 3 was just like, It's a trilogy. Did you play the first two? I was like, nope, didn't know that was a thing. But the third one was great, and then I watched somebody play the second. Rogue, Chippy did get me a little bit into Rogue. Rogue was a good time, but I suck at shooters, so I don't like cling on to them for very long, except for one that we'll talk about a little later. Let me see. What else do we got here? BD, Black Dragon. I don't have numbers, but I would say Fortnite and World of Warcraft. Well, you know what? Let's talk about it. Fortnite is my shooter that I've played a lot this year. I went nuts with Fortnite. It feels like such an easier game to play for people who haven't, like, for starters, like if it's your first time playing a shooter, I recommend Fortnite. Like if you want to get into a shooter game, I would recommend that. I feel like it's an easier one to get. Apex is fucking sweaty. Valorant, oh my god, I've never played Valorant, and it looks so difficult. Rogue Company, I was getting my ass handed to me. So the first time I ever played Rogue was with Twitch streamer Ocean Ave. Shout out to him, amazing streamer. He got me to play Rogue with him one day. I was getting my ass whooped. Then Chibi wanted me to play with her, so I started playing more and more and more. I was fucking awful. I got to where I got better with shooting because we took one night and she was just like, yo, we're just going to teach you how to shoot. I got better at shooting. I still fucking sucked. So, Rogue, I would say is difficult, but yeah, Fortnite and World of Warcraft, those are great. Cindy, shout out to Cindy, has been playing Pixelmon, League of Legends, Stardew Valley, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond, Final Fantasy X. Love Final Fantasy X. I got stuck on the final boss, which was Sin. I'm assuming it's a final boss. It has to be, right? I tried to fight him one time. I couldn't beat him. And I just had like all my hopes drop of like, I'm probably don't have what I need to beat this. And I just haven't went back to it. And I need to because I'm there. I need to beat it. But I'm just like, this is going to be one of those scenarios where I don't have what it takes to beat this guy. Like I'm going to have to go back into the world and find some things or level up some more or something. I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do it right now. But I kept the game saved on my PlayStation, and I do plan to go back to it. Forza. Oh, Doug has been playing Forza and WWE 2K. I've always wanted to play a Forza game. WWE 2K, like I said, it's great. That's it for the Discord. Use my phone here to check Twitter. Let me just pull the Twitter up. Just a second here. Of course, I had it pulled up to where when I got on my phone, it would be right there. But of course, the phone went black and they took it off of the screen I was on Twitter. Here we go. So I asked Twitter the same thing. Here we go. Happy Fry has been playing Valorant and Destiny 2. Destiny 2, I was having fun in Destiny 2, but all my friends like that were playing it kind of quit playing it, and so I haven't had anybody to play with. I was okay in Destiny. I wasn't like bad, but that one was a fun time. Like I said, Valorant is that's a tough one. Devin says Final Fantasy XIV. To this day, guys, I'm 31 and I don't know Roman numerals. Isn't that 14, right? 14. I know which one he's talking about. It's the one, the MMO, the MMO game they put out. I think that's 14. And also God of War Ragnarok. Taylor has been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead, I put some time into Red Dead this year too. Red Dead is one of those games that this is my third time beating the game. I played it again this year. It's such a great story. I love Red Dead, and there's so much stuff you could do on the side of that game. Lots of fun little interactions with different just NPCs and all kind of fun things. Let's see. Miss J Quellen has been playing RimWorld and Fortnite. Uh, okay, so I've never heard of RimWorld. This is my first time hearing about this game. Now I got to go check it out and see what it's about. But Fortnite. Oh my god, I love Fortnite so much. Corey Missildine has been playing Digimon Survive. Corey Corey will die behind this game. All right, he loves it. I got to watch him play it. I haven't played it, but it looks like it was a fun game. They put a really dark like twist on that game, which is like I'm like the king of dark shit. I love anything dark. Right, I'm in. I need to play it. It looks really cool. I think if you make anything dark, it just automatically looks so much cooler. My guy Five has been playing Warzone. He's a big Call of Duty guy. I suck at Call of Duty. I got it one time, right? Oh, so one of my friends, he was playing Call of Duty. I don't think it was Warzone because it wasn't the free one. This was maybe 20. Okay, no, it had to be 2020 because it was when COVID first hit. Isn't that crazy how we can remember a lot of things that happened just by it hit when COVID was here? I know that this was out when COVID hit. So whatever Call of Duty game was out during COVID, it was this. He was like, yo, you should get Call of Duty and we could play Call of Duty because I was home. I had like 2 weeks off, sick. We never knew if it was from actual COVID or not. This was before you could ever get tested for it. I never got like really bad symptoms or anything like that. So it didn't feel like, I guess, what a lot of people who caught COVID went through. But my doctor was like, yo, just to be safe, because we don't want you coming up here. Because that was the whole thing. They didn't even want you going to the doctor for anything like that. I didn't want to go to the hospital because I didn't want to be around anybody who, like, if it's not COVID, I don't want to get COVID. So it was like, yo, can you just give me a note to stay home? And they were like, yeah, how about we just keep you home for 2 weeks? We'll write it off, sign it, give it to your job. You just need to stay home. Because if it is that, like, you don't need to be at work spreading it, and we don't want to see you or have a way to know. Like, we don't have a way to test for that. So it was like, all right, cool. So I was home for 2 weeks. My friend hit me up, was like, yo, you should get Call of Duty. We could play some Call of Duty. I spent whatever the price was, $70 for a game of Call of Duty when it's out. Got the game. We played it. We maybe did like 2-3 rounds together online. Then he got off, and I never played that game again. And I told myself I'll never get another Call of Duty game because I just spent $70 on a game I will never play, right? Unless my friends play with me. And I don't think any of my friends are hardcore play Call of Duty every day, you know? So it's kind of like such a waste of money for me. But maybe I should get it. Like, maybe I should get Warzone or something. I could play with Five. Nebby, the queen of Valorant. Of course, her game is Valorant. Like, of course, because she is the queen of that. That's what she does. So, shout out to everybody that participated there. Those were some great games. We had a lot of Fortnite, right? And a lot of shooter games. Feels like y'all were really into some shooter games. So I got mine right here in my handy dandy notebook. You see the little sticky tabs? I keep notes, guys. I'm a professional. But my memory's bad, so I wrote all this stuff down. Okay, so let's go through this. All right. So for Steam, I played 13 games on Steam this year. Which wouldn't be a higher number because I typically don't play Steam games that much in my free time. A lot of these games I got for streaming, you know. There's not a lot of games in here, if any, that I got just to play on my own time, right? Because since I have like a PlayStation, I usually, in my free time, use it. I don't really sit behind my computer to play games a whole lot. So my top 5 games... Elden Ring, right? The greatest game I've ever played. I'm on my second playthrough of that. I love that game. And I didn't think I would because I was turned off by Souls games. I'll say, like, I went to GameStop one day and my friend had told me to get Fallout 4 for me to play Fallout 4. So I go to GameStop and I see Fallout 4, but I see Bloodborne, right? And I call them. And I'm like, hey, I know you said to get Fallout 4, but they got this game called Bloodborne here, and the cover looks badass. Should I get this? And he was like, TG, right? Because that's what my friends call me. They call me TG. He was like, don't buy that game. You don't have the patience for that game. And he was like, I'm telling you now, you're going to die a lot. Like, nonstop. You're going to die a lot. And you're going to get very frustrated. And I said, all right, I'll get the Fallout 4. So that was my first introduction to From Software games. And I just left it alone. So when Elden Ring came out, I seen all the clips on TikTok, right? I got suckered in by that. And I'm glad I did, because it's so fun. I think even if you struggle with From Software games or you're not into them like that, I think you would have a great time with Elden Ring. I do. I think it's very doable. Actually, I'll go by saying I know it's very doable. If I did it, I guarantee you could do it. Right? Because those games I hear are fucking tough. But Elden Ring is still very hard. You are going to die a lot. But I feel like it's much friendlier. Let me not use the word much. It's friendlier than the others. And I think everybody should play it. 40% playtime, 73 sessions, 170 hours. So far, Elden Ring with 170 hours is my most played game overall. We'll see when we get to PlayStation, though. Dead by Daylight, 28% playtime, 85 sessions, 115 hours. We do a lot of that on stream. For a while, I was doing a lot of it by myself, just like loading into random games. And here's the good thing about Dead by Daylight. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, it helps if you have like friends that you're playing with and you get on the mic and y'all can communicate with each other and tell each other where to go. I have anxiety about getting on mic with people that I don't know. So this game works well with, just go in here. You could, like, they have different buttons. I don't know what they are because I don't ever use them. But people can point and tell you which way to go and stuff like that. But for the most part, I like to go to DVD, just do my generators, get people off hooks. You know what I mean? It's a lot of times you don't need a microphone to get through Dead by Daylight with randoms. So I feel like it goes perfect with that. Whereas in Fortnite, if you're playing like trios, I feel like you need a microphone more in that case, because it's like, don't go too far out, or like, hey, we need to move to the storm because the storm's coming. But you can't tell them that because you're not using a mic. So as somebody who doesn't like to use mics, I just don't like do Fortnite trios or anything like that. I just run solos if I'm by myself. But Dead by Daylight is really good for that. You could just get on there with randoms and just play. You don't really need a microphone. Lost Ark, a game that I was really into and I took a break, but I'm really contemplating getting back into that game. 24% playtime, 72 sessions, 93 hours. I love Lost Ark. It was great. It's the only MMO game that I played other than Final Fantasy XIV. And I had a lot of fun in Lost Ark. I want to get back into it. Rogue Company, 3% playtime, 17 sessions, 15 hours. All of that was with Chibi. Wolf Among Us, 2% playtime, 6 sessions, 9 hours. That was another one we did on stream. All of these other than Rogue Company were games that I streamed. Lost Ark I've only streamed like once or twice. So I did most of that. Yeah, it was 93 hours. I did most of that on my own time. And Rogue Company, I've never streamed. That was just a game me and Chibi were playing in our free time. I have 157 achievements on Steam. My top genre are Souls-like games, which isn't true, but it is true because of how much time I put in Elden Ring. But none of these other are Souls-like games. MMO, RPG, horror, open world. I've played more horror games than Souls-like or MMO, but I guess hour-wise, Souls-like would make more sense because of Elden Ring, and MMO would make more sense because of Lost Ark, just on the amount of hours that I played. But as far as like I didn't play any other MMOs or Souls-like games. But horror, I played quite a few of. And open world, I played quite a few of. Other games that I played on Steam, here's all the rest of them. I played Destiny 2, 5 Dates, Edith Finch, or what remains of Edith Finch. Among Us, which I've only done that in other people's streams. Multiverses. Yo, I got the multiverses, and I just wasn't that into it. I did the whole, you have to watch a stream for however many hours it was, and then they give you a code, and you can use the code to get the game, and I got it, and I was just like, I don't really care. It's fine, I guess. I didn't really care. But shout out to Multiverses. Dogs Organized Neatly, which is just basically like you're just putting these dogs in a puzzle. Like they have all these little dog puzzle pieces, and you have to move them over to the puzzle and get them to fit where they're supposed to fit. It was a nice calming game. Apex. Okay, so Apex we got and we tried to play on stream, but my computer wasn't like running it very well, so I never played it again. Most of the Apex that I've ever played has been on PlayStation. And the Yu-Gi-Oh game, which I was having a lot of fun with. I think it's Duel Masters. I was having fun with that too, but just like the amount of games that I have to get played, I haven't really got back to it. So I only did Steam and PlayStation for my wrap-ups. Epic Games, I know that I played... Actually, you know what? I can bring it up. I'm doing this on the fly. Let's bring up Epic Games. I didn't take notes into Epic because I was thinking the only game I played on here was Fortnite, but I actually played quite a bit. So we played Rumbleverse. Rumbleverse it's pretty fun. As a wrestling fan, Rumbleverse is fun. I can't wait to play more of that. I know a couple of my friends have got it now, so we could play together. Rumbleverse is a good time. Like I said, Multiverses, I just didn't get that into. Lawn Mowing Simulator was a lot of fun too. It's exactly what it sounds like. Just a simulator game of just mowing lawns. Very calming. Fall Guys, I play a lot of Fall Guys and Fortnite. So, Fall Guys, Fortnite. Fall Guys, I played 11 hours and 26 minutes. But I also had this game on PlayStation. And now I have it on my Nintendo Switch. I played way more hours than 11 hours total. I only played the Fall Guys on Steam. I mean, on Epic, excuse me. I only played the Fall Guys on Epic for streaming. Right? So I'll stream this a couple times. Or I have friends in the Twitch community that play this game and they'll ask me to join them. So I'll boot it up and play with them on there. But most of the time I played it on either my Switch or the PlayStation. And Fortnite, let's see how many hours I played of this. 96 hours, and I just got this when the Goku skin came out. When that dropped was when I started playing this. I don't remember the month that was, but I haven't had it very long. I've already put in 96 hours. Okay, but yeah, that's my Epic. We can look at Rumbleverse. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Those matches are very quick. Which I was going to say, I feel like I've played way more than 2 hours and 30 minutes of it. But the matches are very quick for the most part. So, I also... the first time I ever played the game, I got in and I didn't know about the ring out thing. So I got counted outside the ring. Then my very next match, I won it. And then my friend got it, and he had won two or three in one day. It feels like it's very easy to win. It's a good time. Lawn Mowing Simulator, I put 7 hours. It's a good time. I need to get back into these games. I wish I had more time. But I feel like I probably won't be able to get back into them just because of how many games I need to get through. Okay, but there's my Epic wrap up. Let's move to PlayStation. Let me get back to my notes here. So let me read the sticky tab first because I think it's what I need to look at first. So on PlayStation, I played a total of 621 hours this year. 590 hours played locally. 31 hours played online. 189 days that I played. And 41 games total. So I played 41 games this year on PlayStation. Which I would think my numbers would be higher on the PlayStation just because that's my free time thing to do. Is to hop on my PlayStation. So my top 5 games were Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, 140 hours logged. So if that was my highest on PlayStation, then Elden Ring on Steam is the most hours I put into a game at all this year, total. And Mass Effect Legendary Edition being number 2. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I played 2 of the greatest games that I've ever played this year. Mass Effect Legendary Edition and Elden Ring. Right? And which instantly jumped into my favorites, which is now Elden Ring, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and The Legend of Dragoon is one of my all-time favorite games from when I was a kid, and even today. Like, I love Legend of Dragoon. That's not in any order because I don't know which ones, but Legend of Dragoon, Elden Ring, and Mass Effect are my favorite games of all time. WWE 2K22, I spent 76 hours, and I wish I could spend way more, right? Way more hours into WWE 2K22. It was one of those games that I pre-ordered. I spent $130 on it, got all the characters. Every time something dropped, I got it. Man, what a great game. What a great game. They really came back from that fail of 2K20 and then taking a whole year off the next year, and they came back with a banger. I had a great time with WWE 2K22, and I need to play more. I need to finish the Rey Mysterio showcase and the little story mode where you create your character and they give you the story that you got to run through. I created Melania from Elden Ring, and I started it, but I haven't got to get back to it just because there's so much I got to get done. Final Fantasy X, I did 74 hours. Great game. I've already told y'all I haven't got to beat Sin yet, but we'll get back to it eventually. Red Dead Redemption 2, I put 65 hours into it, and Sonic Frontiers 50 hours. So Sonic Frontiers, I stand by this. Great game. One of the most fun that I've had in a game this year. And that's saying a lot because from what I hear, I was never a big Sonic person. The last one I played was when he was in love with Princess Elise. And when that game came out, I was young. And I enjoyed it. But I hear it's terrible. So maybe as an adult now that I kind of understand a good game from a bad game. Which really do we ever understand the difference? Because it's really all which you think is a good game or a bad game. Maybe I need to go back to it and replay it. But at the time, I had a fun time with that game. But I hear it's whenever that game is brought up, most people shit on it. So I'm just like, oh, maybe I was just so young that I didn't know. But I don't know. At the time, it was fun. I don't have an Xbox 360 anymore, so I don't know if I would even get back to it. But everybody talks about how bad Sonic games are. I was never really that big into Sonic to begin with. But when the movies came out, I enjoyed the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, the films. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. It was so interesting because of the open world. And I won't go into a whole bunch into the Sonic because we've done this on the podcast before. But yeah, great game. I really, really liked it. It's a Sonic game, so of course it has its issues. But man, that game was a lot of fun. I got 369 trophies in PlayStation. In PlayStation Plus, I played 15 hours online multiplayer. 29 games added to my library. Top online multiplayer game was Dead by Daylight. I told you I play a lot of that game. So, real quick before I move on from that, the reason Dead by Daylight is on my PlayStation and Steam is because I don't know if you can switch your PlayStation game over to your Steam. But either way, I've already got Steam and I've bought characters on it. But the PlayStation, I have Nancy Wheeler and Steve Harrington, I believe was his name. And the licensing on that is up. I don't know if it's up. They're not on that game anymore. And I like playing with them. And so I didn't delete the game just because if I want to play with Steve Harrington or Nancy Wheeler, I could just boot up the PlayStation version and play with them. So I kept that just because I can never go back and get Steve Harrington or Nancy Wheeler from Stranger Things, if I didn't say that. But yeah, the licensing on the Stranger Things characters is up. So you can't get them in the store now. So I was like, you know what? I'll keep the PlayStation version for that. And then I also have my Steam version where I can buy other characters. And of course, my top game on PlayStation was Mass Effect. So, quick review before we head out of here. On Steam, Elden Ring was my most played game, logging in at 170 hours. On Epic, Fortnite was my most played game, right? Do we remember what that was? Let me look real quick. On Epic, it was Fortnite. On PlayStation, it was Mass Effect with 140 hours. And let me check the Epic again. On Epic, it was Fortnite with 96 hours. So it was a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun in gaming this year, and I'm very looking forward to games in 2023, which we're in right now because I'm recording this on a Sunday. So it's literally just turned 2023, and I'm dropping this today. So you're going to get it now. Hopefully you'll be watching this now in 2023. Maybe this is how you start your new year. But yeah, you know what? I had a lot of what we were going to do. I was going to talk about games that I want to play, right? In 2023, games that are coming out. But y'all, I'm barely holding on. I'm barely holding on right now. Like, this cough it's wanting to come out. You may have noticed in the stream, there's been a couple of times where I just kind of like almost did like a little hiccup thing. That was me holding in a cough. My nose is trying to run, right? I really need to go get some tissue. And I need to sit my ass down somewhere. And, well, sit my ass down and not be recording while I'm sick. So hopefully this didn't sound bad to y'all. If it did, I'm sorry, right? I can't do much about the being sick part. But, man, what a year of just good games. I played some really good games this year. Even if they didn't drop this year. This year I just played some really good games. With that, we're going to head out, and I'm going to say thank you for spending your new year watching this. And if you're not watching this on Sunday when it dropped, thank you for watching it at all. I appreciate that a lot. Hopefully everybody has a good year 2023. Stay safe. We had a lot of deaths in 2022. A lot of bad things going on in 2022, which doesn't mean all of 2022 was just shit for everybody. Some people had a great 2022. Nothing wrong with that. But just be safe out there. People are getting crazier, it feels like, right? It feels like people are getting crazy. Just be safe. Just be safe out there. Play some good games. Maybe even stay inside. That one weekend you're thinking, I just want to go to this place where there's going to be a whole lot of people and maybe some dumb people acting a fool. Maybe stay inside and play a video game. Right? Maybe. I don't know. But everybody have a good 2023. Thank you for hanging out. And we're going to call it there. So y'all be safe out there.